Hi, my name is Hal Elrod and I'm going to share my thoughts with you about the morning routine that changed my life and can change yours too. Life, as I knew it, was shattered. Everything I had built, everything I had dreamed of, crumbled in an instant. I was 20 years old, living a life that looked good on the outside, full of activities and people, but it felt empty inside. There was a loneliness I couldn't explain, an emptiness I couldn't fill. One night my world turned upside down. Everything changed in the blink of an eye. I was in a car accident, a near-fatal crash that left me broken, both physically and emotionally. I felt like my life had stopped. As I lay in that hospital bed staring at the ceiling, a single question echoed in the silence. Is this it? Is this the end of my story? The doctors had painted a grim picture. Their words were like daggers, full of uncertainty and fear. My injuries were serious, the recovery uncertain. Every day was a struggle, every moment a battle. Fear, like a venomous snake, coiled around my heart. I didn't know if I could ever be the same again. My dreams, my aspirations, everything felt impossibly distant. They seemed so far away, as if they belonged to another life. I'd spent my youth chasing fleeting pleasures, neglecting the whispers of my soul. I'd gotten lost in the pursuit of superficial things. Now, facing my own mortality, I was forced to confront the harsh reality of my choices. Every decision, every mistake, it was all in front of me. The crash had been a wake-up call, a brutal, but necessary intervention. It was an awakening I couldn't ignore. I knew with every fiber of my being that I couldn't continue down the same path. I had to find a new direction, a new purpose. I yearned for a life full of purpose, meaning, and fulfillment. I wanted something more than simply existing, but how could I, a broken man, rebuild my life from scratch? How could I find the strength to start over?
One of the goals is to, it was a self-published.
As I was there, dealing with my new reality, a book came into my hands. It was a moment of despair, and anything that could offer me a way out was welcome. It talked about harnessing the power of the morning, about transforming your life by winning the first hour of the day. The idea of a new beginning each day gave me hope. The concept intrigued me. Could this be the answer I'd been searching for, a lifeline in the sea of despair? I clung to that possibility with all my might. I decided to give it a try, holding on to this glimmer of hope. I had nothing to lose and everything to gain. With each passing day, I dragged myself out of bed before sunrise, my body aching and my spirit tired. But there was a small spark of motivation pushing me. The first few days were a struggle, a battle against the inertia of my old habits. Every morning was a challenge but also an opportunity. But I persevered, driven by a spark of determination. I knew I had to keep going, no matter how hard it was. Slowly but surely, something extraordinary began to happen. I started to feel more alive, more in tune with myself. As I embraced the stillness of dawn, a sense of peace washed over me. It was as if the whole world stopped for a moment. The world was silent, my mind clear. In those moments, I found a clarity I had never experienced before. I began to connect with a part of myself I never knew existed, a source of strength and resilience I thought I had lost. It was a rebirth, a new opportunity to rediscover myself.
Who's the right, partner, publisher to bring this to the...
There's a certain magic in the early hours, a sacred space where the world sleeps and possibilities awaken. It's a moment of peace and reflection, where each sunrise brings with it a promise of renewal. It was in this quiet embrace of dawn that I discovered the transformative power of the S.A.V.E.R.S, 6 simple but profound practices that became the pillars of my morning ritual, guiding me towards a day filled with purpose and clarity. Silence, finding comfort in stillness, calming the inner chatter and connecting with my inner self. Affirmations, breathing life into my dreams, replacing doubt with belief, strengthening my confidence. Visualization, painting my ideal future, feeling the emotions as if it were real, creating a mental map towards my goals. Exercise, igniting my body and mind, fueling my spirit and filling myself with energy for the day. Reading, expanding my knowledge, feeding my mind with wisdom and new perspectives. Writing, capturing my thoughts and feelings, gaining clarity and perspective, and leaving a record of my journey. These 6 practices, interwoven, became the tapestry of my mornings, a sanctuary where I nourished my mind, body and soul, preparing myself to face the day with strength and serenity. Each practice, like a musical note, played its part in creating a symphony of growth and transformation, harmonizing my life with purpose and peace.
And let's reach, the way I always say it is...
The first hour of my day became a sacred ritual of silence. I would sit in stillness with my eyes closed, simply observing the rhythm of my breath. This practice, initially challenging, became my anchor in the storm. In the quiet of dawn, I found comfort from the incessant chatter of my mind, a space to simply be. This newfound stillness permeated every aspect of my life. I became calmer, more centered, and less reactive to the world around me. The anxieties that once plagued me lost their grip, replaced by a deep sense of inner peace. Silence, I realized, was not just the absence of sound, but the presence of something much greater, a connection with the deepest part of myself.
Little AI, futuristic, dystopian.
Section 5, Affirmations, Speaking Life into Being. With a heart full of gratitude, I started each day by affirming my deepest desires and aspirations. I spoke to myself with kindness and encouragement, replacing limiting beliefs with empowering truths. I am capable, I declared, I am worthy, I am strong. These affirmations, repeated with conviction, became self-fulfilling prophecies. As I nourished my mind with positive self-talk, I noticed a shift in my energy and perspective. My confidence soared, my doubts diminished. I started to attract opportunities that aligned with my newfound belief in myself, proving that the words we tell ourselves have the power to shape our reality.
For nature for the answers. And I went, oh, that's a good point, I don't know. I will say cow's milk is something that
Section 7, Exercise, Fueling the Fire Within. Movement became my medicine. I started with gentle stretches, gradually increasing the intensity as my body healed. With each drop of sweat, I felt my energy increase, my mood lift. Exercise wasn't just about physical strength, it was about igniting the fire within. The endorphins released during my morning workouts became my natural antidepressants, chasing away any lingering shadows of doubt or despair. As my physical strength returned, so did my mental resilience. I learned to embrace challenges, knowing I had the power to overcome any obstacle.
what are the little tiny
Section 8, Reading, Expanding My Horizons. Every morning I dove into the wisdom of great thinkers and storytellers. I devoured books on personal development, philosophy, and history, eager to expand my knowledge and broaden my perspective. Reading became my daily dose of inspiration, a way to connect with brilliant minds across time and space. The more I read, the more I realized how much there was to learn. I discovered new passions, gained new perspectives, and developed a deeper understanding of myself and the world around me. Reading became a lifelong journey of exploration, a constant source of growth and enlightenment.
vegan by day and paleo by night. Like that's the best way I could
Section 9, Writing, Capturing the Flow.
So I start the day.
As the final act of my morning routine, I poured my thoughts and feelings onto the pages of my journal. I wrote about my dreams, my fears, my gratitudes, and my hopes. This practice of writing in a journal became a form of therapy, a safe space to process my emotions and gain clarity. Through writing, I discovered the power of vulnerability, of acknowledging my imperfections and embracing my true self. I learned to forgive myself for past mistakes and to approach each day with a renewed sense of hope and optimism.